everybody. You're right on time for another ride on the Groove Line with your host, Chris Stevens. Hopefully, you all are doing well out there. Well, we've made it to the end of the week. It's Friday, and we like to party around here on Fridays. So, we are going to talk about one of the great dance tracks of 1981. Of course, a lot of music will be turning 45 years old this year. I'll be turning 45 years old this year. So, yes, I am celebrating my birth year by counting down, not counting down, but just highlighting some of the best songs from 1981 throughout this calendar year. And there's a song that always caught me off guard when I would hear it on the late night old school mixtape radio shows for the last 10, 15 years. And it really bothered me that I couldn't find the name of the artist, the title of the song, even though I knew the hook by heart by this point. But once I found it out, oh man, it's been a part of my rotation ever since. I'm very upset that it is not available on Spotify, but we're going to talk about the Nick Straker Band and a little bit of jazz. Well, before we do that, let's take a look. Yes, that is the Nick Straker Band. The howdy doody gentleman in the front with his collar in front of his shirt wide open with the I don't know if that's a leisure jacket or just a regular old suit jacket, but that is Nick Straker. Actually, his given name is Nicholas Charles Bailey, and he's from London. And he started a series of groups in different genres like rock, reggae, R&B, and eventually electro. And that's where a little bit of jazz comes in. A little bit of jazz was actually released in the UK in 1980, but it didn't make its way stateside until the summer of 1981. And it debuted on the dance charts on July 19th of 1981, and it debuted on the Hot Soul Singles charts. Back then, they transitioned from the black music charts to the Hot Soul Singles charts to eventually now what is called the hip hop and R&B charts. Everything ends up having a transitional period at some point. But yes, back then it was the Hot Soul Singles charts. And a little bit of jazz made it all the way up to number 35 on the Hot Soul Singles charts. And it was the number one dance record in the country on September 26, 1981. Of course, I was born September 25th, 1981. So that's one of the fun little facts that I enjoy, finding out about what the top hot records were around the time of my birth. And finding out that this song that literally just sounds like a party from start to finish, it was the number one dance chart song the day after I was born, is just very, very interesting fact to me. And the song itself, it sounds very Euro disco-ish, but it has elements of electro. The drums are very European. The drums are very European. The synthesizers, there's this nice little synth part that goes boom, 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 and then the guitars, down, down, down. And then when you get to the hook, just a little bit of jazz tonight makes you feel all right. And then there's this really high synth part. Just a fun record to listen to if you are cleaning your house, if you are cooking, if you are able to find a good enough, I guess, stream. Because you can, obviously you could, put YouTube on your phone. For those of you who have YouTube without commercials, let me know if it's worth it. Because quite frankly, I'm tired of commercials. And I don't even have commercials on my own videos because I'm not monetized yet. But if you guys have YouTube without commercials, let me know how you feel about it, if it's a worthwhile investment. But yeah, because I don't want songs being interrupted by, commercials. But yeah, if you have that capability, you can still listen to Nick Straker's A Little Bit of Jazz when you're driving. And I want to put it on my running playlist because I have a Saturday running playlist that is strictly early 80s electro, funk, post boogie, and all of that. I'll put a link to that in the description below. So just thinking about how R&B and disco and EDM, dance music and black music changed in the beginning of the 80s, this feels like one of those songs that doesn't get enough credit as a cultural touchstone. Probably because it was a bunch of dudes who look like, I don't know, the Dukes of Hazzard, Howdy Doody, Carrot Top. I don't know. Granted, there's no such thing as reverse racism. That is not what I'm saying here. Black music is black music is black music is black music. But there are some white people that have done black music very well. For God's sakes, Tina Marie, one of my favorite singers of all time, white lady from Venice Beach, California, had more soul than some of the black women that were doing music back in that point in time. But Nick Straker Band's A Little Bit of Jazz just sort of flies under the radar, only if you are not familiar with the club scenes. Because every time I see a YouTube video about this song, there is somebody in that comment section who was in the clubs in 1981 when this was out. As soon as you see it, the first club you see that is comes to mind is Paradise Garage, Larry Levan, summer of '81. I remember what I was doing. I was there, Paradise Garage, and everyone's like, "Oh, the Warehouse in Chicago with Frankie Knuckles," and it's just like I think that's beautiful in some respects because a lot of OGs they kind of sort of get forgotten when it comes to the music that they love, the art that they love, and everything that they love just sort of kind of like faded from view because time just makes poor memories out of everybody. And being able to reminisce, if only for 6 or 7 minutes at a time, about what you were doing when you were 18, 19, 20 years old in the summer of 1981, and you are going to a club and you hear this number thumping over the loudspeakers, and it's like, I'm home. And then when you're an older person, you hear that again, like on YouTube, and you have younger people discovering, like, hey, this is a good song. And then the older people can say, yeah, I remember when this was brand new. It's almost like it's almost like a connector in some respects. And I think that's what's cool about being able to stream, being able to talk about this stuff on YouTube, because I've got a lot of OGs checking in on this channel. There was a gentleman on one of my Michael Cooper clips when I was interviewing Michael Cooper from interviewing Michael interviewing Michael Cooper of Confunction is what I'm trying to say here. And he said, yeah, I remember when Confunction came to my college in 1977. And I'm like, damn, that's the type of stuff I love to hear, man. Like, like, just tell me more. Tell me more about the old days. Because again, I'm 44 years old. I was not in the clubs in 1981. I was still incubating. I was incubating right up until September 25th when I came out via C-section because I was 11 days late. That's a little Chris Stevens, a little known Snapple fact. I was supposed to be a Virgo. I was supposed to be born September 14th. They didn't pull me out until September 25th. So I became a Libra by default. But yeah, if you have any memories of Nick Straker Band's A Little Bit of Jazz, would love to know what you guys thought about that record, what you were doing when it was brand new. If you have not heard it, go back and go listen to it and come back and let us know what you think. And we can discuss it in the comments as we always do. So that's going to do it for this ride on the Groove Line. Greatly appreciate y'all as always. Contact information will be in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe and tap that notification bell so you get notified of all the new videos that drop on this channel, because I drop 2 or 3 times a week, as you know. And don't forget to like and comment on the videos because, well, I talk back in the comments. So thank you guys for riding with me on the Groove Line. And until the next time we ride, have a good weekend. And may you find the groove, or may the groove find you.